the goddamn button. Press the goddamn button.
He's charged with raping his stepsister and then strangling her to death and hiding her body. But he's still not behind bars. That's because a federal Florida judge has ruled that he can remain free in his uncle's custody until his murder trial later this fall. Investigators say that last November, 16-year-old Timothy Hudson, 18-year-old Anna Kepner, and Anna Kepner's 10-year-old brother were on a cruise along with Anna Kepner's father and Timothy Hudson's mother, who were married. So they were step siblings. So the three step siblings, for some reason, sharing a room on this cruise. Yes, all three of them. So the night that everything happened, they say that Anna had been complaining at dinner that she was in pain due to her braces. So she wanted to go back to her room. So I'm going to give you guys time, so follow along. So they say at 7:38, she's seen on surveillance video, like I mentioned, going to her room and going in alone. They say about 3 minutes before 7:38, the stepbrother, 16-year-old Timothy Hudson, was seen on surveillance video going into that same room. So at 7:51, the 10-year-old little brother is said to have gone into the room. He's seen on surveillance video, and he only goes in there briefly, and he says that he saw his sister. So he ends up leaving the room. I believe he was going to take pictures of the ship. So again, this is about 7:50, 7:51. Now, reportedly, Anna's watch had stopped seeing her movements from 7:50 to about 10 p.m. That's important. Now at 10:13, the stepbrother, Timothy, he's seen finally leaving that room. But before he leaves the room, he is said to have been looking left and right down the hall, kind of checking to see if the coast is clear. So he leaves and comes back about 2 times within like a half an hour range from the 10:13 when he initially left. So at 10:53, Timothy is back in this room and he leaves again, but this time he puts up the privacy sign and he doesn't come back till about 11 o'clock. So now it's about 11:20 and the little brother finally comes back in the room briefly, but this time he notes that he does not see his sister. But I guess he doesn't think anything of it because he leaves the room again. Now they say that Timothy also left for a little bit but comes back, but here's where it gets a little weird. At about 12:09, the 10-year-old brother finally comes back from his many adventures on the boat and he wants to come in and go to sleep. But he says that the brother, Timothy, who was in that room, blocks him from coming inside and saying something about how he's changing and he can't come in. So he makes him wait a little bit before he lets him come into the room. So keep in mind, at this point, the sister is nowhere to be found. But for some reason, the brothers go to sleep. They wake up in the morning, and it's said that Timothy leaves the room a few times before 9 a.m. And just after 10, he leaves the room, and he is seen with something in his left hand. And he goes near an area where there's a trash bin, and he puts or reaches for something inside. Well, get this, later on, Anna Kepner's cell phone was found in that same area. As he's out doing whatever he's doing, the parents at this point, well, they're concerned. They don't know where Anna is. Keep in mind, the last thing she said to them was that she was in pain and that she needed to go rest and she was headed back to her room. But she's nowhere to be found. So finally, at about 11, say 20-ish, they say that there were employees from the ship and they went into the room and they found her body underneath the bed, wrapped up in a sheet and concealed by a box of life vest. Okay, I'm realizing that this is kind of long, so go to part 2 and I'll tell you how they finally zeroed in and realized that Timothy had something to do with this.
I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's necessary. I might do a follow-up just to see how this go. But ultimately, he's not behind bars. They released him into family custody. And quite frankly, I don't understand why and how the fuck we get to that point. Because if it was a black person or anybody of color, they ass would have been locked away. The bond would have been $20 million gazillion dollars. You know it, I know it. Where was the parents at? once you found out that she wasn't feeling well, why wasn't anyone checking on her? You know, the thing that bothers me the most about this case, amongst others, this weird, sick obsession that these children have with their siblings, like this incestuous shit. Because not too long ago, a dad killed his daughter and he was sleeping with her. Now this. And I don't understand. Is it that well concealed from the parents that they don't recognize that something is off about their kid? Was there ever a conversation between the daughter and the parents about any unusual behavior that was being shown by this little boy? I don't know, man. Like those are just questions that I ask myself. How the fuck do you become that obsessed and sexual and desirous of someone that's supposed to be your sibling? And how aren't the red flags ever noticed? And how the hell does someone who gets put under this type of pressure, how are they allowed to just roam and be free out here in the general public? If y'all want to see a part 2, let me know. If you want to know what happens with this case, let me know. Because I hope and pray she's never set free. He needs to be tried as an adult. And he should never get a chance to walk amongst us in this population again. Period.